We've been in a bit of a whirlwind of a news week. I want to talk about Chad Gable. I want to talk about a little bit about his Intercontinental Championship, and of course, like some where he's been, because he's mentioned about the Shorty G character. And for those of you who don't know, he started this gimmick in about 2019. It lasted for about a year before he shifted to uh, I think it was the Alpha Academy at this point in 2020. So Chad Gable went on Cody Rhodes' show the other week on his "What Do You Want to Talk About" podcast. And as the conversation went on, Chad touched on the Shorty G character he had to take on in WWE. He's been open about that being a low point in his career. This isn't the only interview that I think he's mentioned that. I think he's also talked about even in promos. And when asked who created the character, Gable basically said that he assumes it was Eric Bischoff because that's who presented it to him. And Eric Bischoff was serving as the executive director of SmackDown at the time. So Bischoff responded to this on his 83 Weeks show, still going strong, addressing the comments. Bischoff basically said that he was involved, but it was a Vince McMahon idea. So he clarifies that while his fingerprints were on the development of the Shorty G character, since he was executive director of SmackDown at the time, the concept originated entirely from Vince himself, and that, of course, makes a lot of sense based on some of his gimmick ideas in recent years before he got removed, so to speak, from his position. So Vince apparently presented the character to him during a routine meeting with artwork already prepared. And then Eric's job was to take McMahon's vision to the marketing department, oversee the development of visuals and branding, and then filter them back to McMahon for final approval. And Bischoff also admitted that he didn't see Chad Gable as the underdog collegiate character that Vince envisioned, but notes that he wasn't hired to vote on ideas, but to execute them. So he's just basically kind of a gunman at that point. And he ultimately agrees that the character might have been lame to begin with. And I think a lot of people agreed. I rewatched the promo when he started calling himself Shorty G, and I mean, he was trying to turn chicken shit into chicken salad. I think he did the best that he could. And yeah, and then in this year's SummerSlam, he won the WWE Intercontinental Championship by tapping out Penta, which is probably the highlight of his career up to this point. So Eric Bischoff, like I said, he revealed that Shorty G was handed him directly to Vince. There was pre-prepared artwork, ideas, concepts. So, I mean, well, like, what do you guys think about, I guess, that creative process? Because there are some people who come in with an idea or already an established character, and then you have some wrestlers who are delivered characters, and I think a lot of that was Vince McMahon, and basically how a lot of his wrestlers were built was through his vision and some form of collaboration, but a lot of it I felt like was top down. I mean, you can talk about like Kane or, you know, Dr. Isaac Yankem or whatever you want to, what do you want to think of? I mean, what do you guys think of like that that strategy? Would you rather like it be a wrestler's gimmick idea that comes through themselves, or like do you feel like this corporate version of creating a character works? Or is there a middle ground?
There's definitely a middle ground. Just for like one example, Taker was just handed that.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, like you said,
That's the
Undertaker.
story.
Yeah.
of Vince calling and being like, "Hello, is this the Undertaker?" And Mark being like, "Yeah,
Yeah, it's the Undertaker. Yeah, like you said, I think there's a mixed bag. There are some who are um like John Cena. I think that one is interesting because I think the prototype I feel like was like the WWE's idea, but the rapping gimmick was it
Stephanie
was in,
McMahon's."
it was Stephanie's. Like she suggested it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, that'd be a good idea." But it's like it was part of his um persona already. Like he didn't have to like pretend to be a rapper.
Yeah,
Like he actually liked that genre. He listened to that music. He was good at it. So I think that's like the distinction I'm trying to make. It's like people who already have that talent or idea in them, and then dial it to 11, and then like you said, like John Cena got a little kick in the butt with Stephanie McMahon. He was about to get fired, et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, some people get handed the gimmick and they try to make it work. Undertaker is a good example. I think Kane was. I feel like Mankind is a Mick Foley like collaboration. I don't think it was. I
yeah.
don't think it was just Mick Foley, but like those kind of characters. I feel like he had a lot of input on, you know, and that works. I'm trying to think like Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns, the character. I think
The big dog.
the original, I think, is a Vince McMahon big dog. Like he didn't want to say any of that, you know.
He didn't want to do half of the shit he was doing.
Right, exactly. So the bloodline and the way he currently carries himself is like him, like Joe Hanawai. Like I think that um in that aspect, it's like part of your character, and then yeah, you're building off of an existing idea, like your pants, the shield, all that kind of stuff. But then you're injecting your own stuff into it. With Chad Gable and Shorty G as one example, because there are many. It's one of those that came off an assembly line and just didn't work. So yes, I do think that there's a it depends aspect to that. So I mean, in terms of Chad Gable calling Shorty G a career low, and but he did stick it out and eventually won the top of the mid card with the Intercontinental Championship. Do you feel like his payoff validates paying your dues through bad gimmicks? And there's a lot of wrestlers who had that. Cody Rhodes is one. I mean, to name, there's plenty, but Cody Rhodes is the one that pops up in my mind because they were in this interview. Or do you feel like it wastes years of your prime doing gimmicks that make you be soul crushed and want to leave the company? Like, do you feel like it validates it, the payoff?
I mean, in a way, what I was gonna suggest to the earlier question was I think every wrestler should have the opportunity to present themselves the way they want to present themselves and then just do like a trial run with it and just see what the reaction is to it and then collaborate with the creative team from WWE to fine tune like what is this specifically missing, or just getting the coaching feedback like they do for like NXT stars or any of the the tough enough people, like have them do their thing but then just get suggestions as to like what can they be doing differently from presentation to whatever it is, so that way at least they feel like they have some autonomy with their character versus like they come in, they're a dark brooding character, and then they're served this like comedic joke gimmick, and then they're supposed to make it work. So I would say that would be the proper middle ground. So it feels like at least the wrestlers themselves have some level of dignity and say, and as far as who their characters should be.
Yeah, I agree. I think in the Triple H era, I feel like there's less of the you know, carrying cross, and then he becomes some weird like Roman soldier type thing with a mask and bondage gear or whatever, or LA Knight, is
Thanks,
oh my god,
Dupree.
thank you, Dupree. That the whole squad, becomes someone else completely. I think that kind of wrestling in WWE specifically, I think is gone. That idea of like I was a person, a famous wrestler, a well-known person. I had an established character, and then it's basically like WWE's a black box where everything you did doesn't exist, isn't mentioned, and now you are simply someone completely new that is under our vision, or I mean, let's be real, Vince's vision. And it works for some people. Some people pull it off because I mean they got to this point for a reason, and a good chunk also it did not work. And I think the way that Triple H approaches wrestlers and their personas and their identities, I like this the best. I like that we can reference uh, different promotions and championship reigns, and it's not treated as like this weird thing that doesn't exist outside of this bubble. I think that like just that idea just seems to insult the intelligence of a lot of people where you just pretend it doesn't happen. So
Eat.
I agree with that. And yeah, I mean, with Chad Gable now, he won the Intercontinental Championship. I still don't really like his song, sorry, Chad. But I mean, with him winning the title, where do you think he goes from here?
Awesome ass clap.
Gable.
Where does he
He'll
go?
probably hold it for a while. I'd say he holds it till the Rumble.
Yeah.
Maybe past the Rumble. Maybe
He's a
Mania.
solid mid card guy. I feel like he can have some good rivalries to fill that mid card.
I think
Yeah,
he'll get a crack at one of the titles.
The top one?
Yeah.
I could see it. I mean, he deserves that. This is his first singles title, I think, in WWE, which is pretty crazy to think about. He's been tag champ a number of times, but this is his first like singles title run. And again, like I remember when he first started, it was like the long hair, happy-go-lucky Matt wrestler with the bandana on his head. Um,
I still can't believe that was him. I'm like, who's this guy
Yeah.
with the short hair?
Yeah, I didn't notice that it was that Chad Gable until, yeah, I kept reading more about it. But yeah, I mean, he had the Shorty G character, and then I honestly feel like he's doing the best work of his career in the past 3 or 4 years. Like the whole Alpha Academy thing, I think it was some peak television that people were actually invested in when it was like the whole him just crapping on the rest of his team, and then Tozawa and Maxine and Otis, all of them just like going against him. I thought that was great TV. And then, putting him in the mask gimmick, I thought initially was going to be like a throwaway weird thing they just wanted to do for shits. And then somehow it like manifests into this like match of the decade. Like it built up to this crazy crescendo that I don't think anyone anticipated or planned to for it to be that. Like it just worked out in such a crazy way that they got like one of the best matches of the decade, if not the past couple of decades. I mean, it's truly incredible the way that sometimes this works. So yeah, I think I see another singles run in Chad Gable's future. I hope he wins the WWE or world title at least once. I think he deserves it. But yeah, I think that's a wrap for this episode of the Chi-Town Shoot podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate us, and leave your feedback. Tune in next time for more wrestling madness. Until then, keep marking out.